Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 20300 Oregon Highway 240 here in Newburgh. It's also called Le Puy. We're going to be checking the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Currently, we are adjacent to kind of the workout room. I'll show that here in just a moment. Going through a 3-inch ABS clean out. We're kind of tucked back into a closet here where there's a water softener. And I believe it's also, we're right outside or through this wall is where the little wine bar is at. But right out there is the courtyard where the entrance is. If you go to the left, to the right is the workout room and then the wine bar. So anyway, going through 3-inch ABS here. We have to have the water turned off, unfortunately. All the fixtures for that tie in above the clean out access. So if we run water during the scope anyway, it'll come pouring out of the clean out. And we're just going to run the camera through here as hard and fast as we can so we can get as far as we can. That water really helps a lot when getting the camera down line. Have some standing water in the line. And that is indeed a belly there. We don't have any water running currently, so that's exactly what that belly looks like as it sits there. You've got almost 3 inches of standing water in the line there. And when it comes to bellies and smooth plastic pipe like this, they're not nearly as concerning as when they're in concrete and cast iron that have very rough pipe walls that don't let the debris break loose on its own. So we'll see where that is. And usually I start considering repairs on bellies once you've got at least an inch of standing water for around 5 to 10 feet. That section there has considerably more water than that. That doesn't mean the line's not still functioning, but an area like that is more prone to build up in a blockage occurring. And typically, when it comes to bellies in pipe materials like this, if you're just putting toilet paper down the line and not putting paper towels and cleaning wipes and grease, stuff of that nature, generally bellies don't act up on you. By and large, they mostly cause problems when people are putting stuff like that down the sewer line, or balling their toilet paper up to a humongous size before flushing it. Alright, that right there is as far as we can get. That last turn stopped us up there. Without water running, that's as far as we can go. So I'm going to go locate just to see where we're at here, and then we'll move over. We've got 2 other cleanouts. That is, if you look, we're standing in the driveway looking up at the building like you would from the highway. We've got 2 other cleanouts coming off the left side of the main building where most of the rooms are at. We're going to move over to both of those here in a moment. Alrighty, so I just located the camera successfully here. And right now we are within the main building. The line is passed from this portion of the building over into the main part where all the rooms are. And we're, again, I'm describing all this stuff as if you're standing on the highway looking up at the building. Right now we're kind of at the rear left corner of the part of the building that has all the rooms in it. And right there is where it makes a turn to go down, basically towards the rooms at the bottom of the building. And then if we could actually get through there, you'd see that line turn and go out of the building within about 5-10 feet. And that's right where we're going to move to here in just a moment. And I'll try and make a diagram. I know this is kind of probably hard to understand just audibly visualizing it. I'm very pleased we made it out to 90 feet without water running, though. That's awesome. And we just went over the top of a little bit of debris there. It was just a piece of hair. Alright, and then here is where the belly is at. It dissipates out here at about 36 feet. We're going to go locate and see where that's at here. Alright, and the line right now is heading, if you're standing kind of out here in the courtyard looking at the front entrance into where kind of the office area is at, the line is heading in just to the left of the front door. So we are outside the building currently. The line runs over there into that portion of the building and then shoots across it. You've got a fairly significant belly here. The line is almost completely full of water all the time. And the debris that's in it is not helping. It will somewhat exaggerate the standing water there, but before we stirred any of that stuff up, I went through it and the line was almost entirely submerged. So you've got close to 3 inches of standing water in that section of the line there. And because it's under kind of some decorative slate and rock out here, I'm not going to put paint down. I'll take a picture of it in case someone ends up doing a repair. Again, the line is still functioning through here, but it is draining slower than it should due to the belly. It's that slower drain that can lead to buildup occurring. This is a spot I do recommend a repair on. If repairs aren't done, I'd rescope the line every so often to keep an eye on it, make sure you don't have buildup occurring. My camera was able to break loose a lot of that stuff that was in there, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen all over again. I just took a picture so you can get a rough idea of where this spot is at here. And in the picture, the parameters of that area will be, you'll see a red and a yellow plastic marker on the ground in the picture. It's about a 10-foot section of pipe there, from 26 feet to 36 feet. And that is a good, 20, 30 feet out from the building. A lot of times with the smooth plastic pipe, if a blockage does occur, what ends up happening is the water fills up behind that blockage. And because the pipe walls are smooth, in most cases, the water building up behind those blockages in plastic pipe like this will often break free all on its own. That's a very common occurrence. That's why I was saying a belly of that nature in cast iron or concrete pipe that have very rough pipe walls is, in my opinion, a much more significant problem, because you can't take advantage of head pressure in the same way you can in plastic pipe, where those blockages don't always break loose on their own. And that's generally when you're dealing with just good old-fashioned toilet paper blockages. When you've got paper towels or tampons, stuff like that in the line, that's a different story altogether. Those things don't break down on their own and will often completely block and fill up on you. Anyway, that section of the line is functioning and it is draining slower than it should there through 26 to 36 feet, which is why I recommend the spot repair. Depth-wise, I was getting around 2.5, 3 feet deep in that section. But if you do any repairs there, you're going to have to relocate, because I can't leave permanent markings down on this surface out here. Now we're going to go move over to the other 2 cleanouts. All right, we've moved over to another cleanout here. This one's 4-inch ABS. Right now, we're right next to a bunch of air conditioning units. So right there, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, through that space in the trees is the parking lot area. And so where we just came from is kind of off that direction, over by the workout wine tasting room. That line routes its way over basically to the front entrance area, shoots across this building, and where we stopped was up at the top corner of this, about 10, 15 feet away from us. So there was not very much of that main line we missed there. Alright, we're going to zero out once more. And we're going to probably go down here until we reach the other clean out and then move to that one. We're going to leave the line dry here for a moment. The water's been through this thing. We don't need it to aid our inspection right now. That little stringy item there at the top of the pipe is just a cobweb or excess pipe glue when the line was installed. And at this point, this tie-in we just went past right here is the next cleanout we're going to move to. So this branch of pipe here we just scoped is in good condition, flows nicely, and is functioning properly at this time. And this, where we're at right now, is just shooting down on the left side of the building on the exterior. The branch we're in right now looks like it's picking up the rooms that are kind of on the top floors, and then the one we're going to move to right now is going to be for the rooms down on the bottommost floor of the building. Alright, we have now moved down to the bottommost clean out here. We're just down below where the air conditioning units are here. We're going into a 3-inch ABS clean out, which will Y into that 4-inch pipe here in just a second. And that's the Y connection right there. And we've got water running for this one because I think this is going to be a fairly lengthy run here. And we'll drain it all out at the end. Another spot with some standing water in it. That one looks more minor than the last one. You've got about an inch or so of water in there. That's with a bathtub and a sink running full bore. That spot right there is probably going to drain out to a very minimal amount of water. And right here, we'll get the locator out, but I believe we are dropping into the septic tank here. We're going to go do some locates to verify that, but that does look like the connection to the tank. That black spot in front of the camera there, I got right up close to it. I think it's a pipe wall that's just covered in debris. It almost looks like there's a hole there, but it's kind of an optical illusion. It's a spot where my camera scraped debris off the pipe wall, exposing the black ABS behind it. That's plastic pipe there, though. It almost looks like concrete. Alrighty, we are indeed at the tank. Where I located is, my locator was right up against the tank lid. Right around 3.5 feet deep there. So, again, we've got standing water out here at this point. I put a white X marking there. With the rain we're having today, you're probably going to have to relocate, because these markings are very likely to wash away. And keep in mind that bellies that are out this distance from the building are far less likely to act up on you than bellies close into the building. I still recommend repairs on because there's a fair amount of water here, and feasibly you could get a blockage. But at this distance, it would take some doing. It would be someone just balling their toilet paper up like crazy and dumping it down the sewer line. It would take quite the blockage to back up from 144 feet. You've got about 2 inches of standing water there in that section of the line. And there's a lot of gravity behind that too. You've got that hard dive just before it. So, like I'm saying, you would be repairing that to prevent a blockage from occurring from someone who's just kind of abusing the sewer line. You've got an unbelievable amount of head pressure that builds up, and you've got to fill up 145 feet of 4-inch pipe. the amount of water weight sitting on that blockage is extreme. And by and large, on a septic system, the only thing that should be going down here is toilet paper. Unless you get a guest who's putting things down the line that shouldn't be going down there. Like tampons and stuff of that nature. Alright, got another belly here from about 90 feet. Feet to 97 feet. And this one here has around an inch of standing water in it. Alright, around 3 to 3.5 feet deep here. I have put some paint markings down. And aside from the first belly we called out up near the front entrance to the house, the rest of those bellies are under dirt. We've got someone inside that's running water. It's a very difficult situation to keep all the water off in a building this size. Alright, got another belly here. This one dissipates out at about 51 feet. That stringy thing there is just a cobweb, that's not a root. Well, this one extends from 47 feet to 51 feet. Alright, in this spot here, I can locate the start of it, not the end of it, because it's the belly dissipates out underneath a rose bush, where I can't locate. You got a little offset joint there as well. All drained out, actually, now that water is out of there. You've got a minor offset and a belly that extends here from 47 feet to 51 feet, and it's drained out to under a 1/4 inch. So that is actually one I will not recommend a repair on. It's just too minor. Yeah. Yeah, most of these markings, though, those are purely for reference. If someone gets out here quick enough, that most of them are going to be gone. And I would recommend relocating before you're doing any digging to always double check markings and depths and everything. But a lot of those spots are going to wash away here shortly with the rain. Anyway, overall, the line is functioning at this time. It's draining slower than it should in a few different areas. You got two bellies, notably, on this portion of the line out near the septic tank. You know, from 90 to 97 feet and 139 to 144 feet, you've got bellies there with 2 to 3 inches of standing water in them. And then you've got the other belly up near the entrance to the building. That one's the most significant of all of them because of its proximity to the building, and it's got about almost 3 inches of standing water in it with no water running at all. So, would recommend spot repairs on all those. Again, line is functioning. We don't have any major buildup in the sewer line right now. So if repairs aren't done, I'd rescope the line about every year to keep an eye on things if repairs aren't done. And again, as long as people are just putting folded toilet paper down the line, a lot of those spots there are unlikely to cause problems, but lots of people ball their toilet paper up and put other things down the sewer line. So anyway, line is functioning, but it is draining slower than it should in a few areas, which is why I recommend those repairs. And if you do any repair work, make sure you do a rescope afterwards to check the work.